Hi guys, welcome back to Lizards of the Coast. I'm Mark, and today we're doing another budget commander video around a new core set 2021 commander, Subira Caravaner. Now, let's look at Subira's card. Subira is a 2 generic and 1 red 2/3 creature that says she has haste, she has a 1 generic activated ability that allows you to give another target creature with power 2 or less unblockable, and if you tap her down for 1 generic and red, you can discard your hand, and until end of turn, whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player, you can draw a card. So, based off these stats, what the deck we're going to build around is a small low-to-the-ground creature base with a wide board that can swing in, deal a lot of damage to other pump effects, and draw us a bunch of cards through Subira's other ability. So now let's start with the deck list, and focus on small beater creatures first. Few of our small beater creatures are going to be Scorch Spitter, Monastery Swiftspear, Kardi Zev, Skyship Raider, Immolation Shaman, and Harsh Mentor. One of the key creatures being Monastery Swiftspear, which has prowess and a 1/2 body with casting a bunch of creature spells, can get very big very quick during damage phase, so you can sneak in a bunch of damage points. And then Immolation Shaman and Harsh Mentor are also nice key cards because they're very taxing effects on activated abilities, so they can be really nice. Then let's move on to a couple of our big hitter creatures. We're going to be playing Scourge Wolf and Chandra Spitfire. Chandra Spitfire going to be a key creature in their deck because we have so many non-combat damage effects through things like Raid Bombardment and other cards that allow us to make Chandra Spitfire, based off the ability of the +3/+0, quite large, possibly a 15-20 power creature. It's going to be very massive for us. Then let's move on to a couple of our best cards, which are going to be token producers, which are going to be playing Dragon Master Outcast, Dragon Whisperer, Loyal Apprentice, Tillinelli Summoner, Handweird Garrison, Legion Warboss, Siege Gang Commander, Chancellor of the Forge, and Goblin Assault. Now all these cards are going to be very key for us, such as Tillinelli Summoner with her activated ability of X and a red that allows us to make a bunch of elementals with Ascend, which we're probably going to be keeping because if we have 5 mana to cast it, we can probably use and get that many elementals back and almost guarantee having the Ascend, so we'll be able to make a lot of tokens. And then Handweird Garrison is going to be able to make 2 human tokens whenever it attacks, another great token producer. Siege Gang Commander can make us 3 Goblin tokens when it enters the battlefield, and with other synergies with things like Goblin Assault, it's going to be great for us to do damage to any target. And then Chancellor of the Forge will give us Goblin tokens for each creature we have on the battlefield when it enters the battlefield, so it's going to make a huge amount of tokens for us. Then let's move on to a lot of our other key cards in the deck, which are going to be a damage increasing cards, in which we'll be playing Hell Rider, Torbrand, Thrain of Red Fell, Angrest Marauders, Terror of Mount Velis, Throne of the God Pharaoh, Cavalcade of Calamity, Raid Bombardment, and Berserker's Onslaught. Hell Rider will give us a 1 damage for each attacking creature when it attacks, so it can give us a bit of effects with things like Chandra Spitfire. Torbrand will just deal 2 extra damage from every red source that we use, so it's going to be huge for damage increase. Angrest Marauders deals double, similar to Torbrand. Terror of Mount Velis gives all our creatures double strike, which gives us a lot of big damage. Throne of the God Pharaoh is a very interesting card because it says at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the number of tapped creatures you control, and with a big wide board, we can do a lot of damage for a 2-mana artifact. Cavalcade of Calamity just gives you an extra damage for each 1 power creature you control, so it's very interesting. And Raid Bombardment does the same thing, but with 2 power creatures. Then let's move on to some of our card advantage cards, which will be playing Bomat Courier, Direfleet Daredevil, Wildfire Eternal, Prophetic Flamespeaker, Idol of Oblivion, Throw Possibility, Crash Through, and Tormenting Voice. Wildfire Eternal is going to be also very interesting in the deck because it's a Afflict 4, which can do just 4 if it's blocked through non-combat damage, so it's going to be very interesting. Prophetic Flamespeaker with its double strike ability and its ability to exile cards and let it play this turn are going to be great for card advantage. Idol of Oblivion is a 2-mana artifact that just taps and draws you a card if you've created a token this turn, so with the amount of tokens we make, it's going to be also very interesting. And then the last 3 cards we play of Thrill Possibility, Crash Through, and Tormenting Voice are simply just good cantrips for us. Now let's move on to a few pump spells we play, which are going to be playing Burn Bright, will give our creatures +2/+0, Dragon Rage, which for 3 mana can make us gain a bunch of mana for each attacking creature we control, and we can use that for other activated abilities, or things such as Subira's Unblockable ability, which can be very interesting. Banner's Raise just gives us +1/+0 for each of our creatures for 1 mana, pretty decent. And Rites of Initiation can discard cards and then pump them through that effect. We'll also be playing a lot of mana ramp spells to use things such as our activated abilities or use Subira's Unblockable ability. So we'll be playing Runaway Steamkin, Burnished Heart, Solemn Simulacrum, Soul Ring, Fire Diamond, Mind Stone, Commander Sphere, which are all a bunch of mana rocks for us, Wily Goblin to make treasure tokens, Pirate's Pillage, which will give us treasure tokens and draws cards, so it'll be really nice for us. And then also Battle Hymn. Solemn Simulacrum is going to be very interesting because it's going to be a lot cheaper now that it's put in Core 2021, and can also draw us a card as well, putting a land on the battlefield, so it's going to be really nice for us that way. And then Battle Hymn simply says to us, add a red mana to our mana pool for each creature we control for just 2 mana for a generic and a red, so it can be great for all those other activated abilities or other big X spells we might need to play in the deck. We'll also be playing a few life gain cards with Diamond Mare, Elixir of Immortality, and Dragon's Claw. Since we don't have a lot of life gain, we could lose a lot of life with crackbacks and other things that way. Elixir of Immortality is going to be really nice to shuffle our deck and get life gain again and use a bunch of other cards and stop us from getting milled. And Dragon's Claw is also nice because every time we're going to play a spell, we're gaining a life and it'll be really nice for us. We'll also play a few removal cards. We're going to be playing Outnumber, Scour from Existence, Shenanigans, and Meteor Golem. Outnumber being very interesting because it'll do the damage to a creature for each creature we control, so it can get a lot of damage to a big creature that way, in red, which is hard to get sometimes. Scour from Existence will just get a lot of permanents, Shenanigans, Recursive Artifact Hate, and Meteor Golem will get any tricky non-land permanent. And we'll also be playing a few board whites, such as Sandstorm, Chain Reaction, Hour Devastation. Chain Reaction being also very interesting because it'll do a damage to each creature based on the creatures on the battlefield. So with our deck, it can hit a lot of creatures. Unlike Red's ability, it doesn't have as many huge big board wipes, so it's different that way for us. And we'll be playing a few utility cards in the deck. First of being Burn at the Stake, which in our deck is going to be quite interesting because it says, as an addition to cast this card, tap any number of untapped creatures we control, and it deals damage to a target creature or player equal to 3 times the number of creatures tapped this way. And with all of our token producers and everything like that, it can do a huge amount of damage, upwards of near 30 in the late game. It can be crazy. Lavabrink Floodgates from Commander 2020 is also quite interesting because it's a 4-mana artifact that can come in and tap immediately for 2 red, which is really nice. And then with the Doom counters put on it from each of our players, it can deal 6 damage to each creature on the board, which promotes just a lot of interesting gameplay in a Commander game where this player puts a Doom counter on it, this one takes it off. It could be a really fun, interesting card in those games. Crater Elemental is a very interesting card because for 3 mana, it's an 0/6 that can tap for a red and deal 4 damage to a creature, so pseudo removal. But then again, also, it can activate itself with Formidable and become an 8-power 8/6 until end of turn, which can be quite interesting if we have a lot of power on the board through tokens and whatnot. We'll also play Ember Shieldbreaker from Throne of Eldraine, just a 1-mana destroy target artifact as an adventure and come back as a creature that can activate a rain bombardments and whatnot, so quite interesting card advantage there. We're also going to be playing Burn from Within, which can just, in late game, with all the mana we can produce, just kill somebody for like 20 power, or also just take out a big creature if that's a problem for us. And then we'll also play Spike Shot Elder in a deck, which is a bit of an interesting card because for 1 generic and 2 red, it can deal damage to equal to its power to target creature or player. With all our pump effects and also things like Torbrand, this can do 2 extra damage or something, and with Burn Bright and everything else, we can make it pretty big, and this can take out big creatures or deal that damage to a player that they might not see coming at the end of the game out of nowhere. And then finally, we'll move on to our land-based. We'll be playing Forgotten Cave, Desert of the Fairvent, and Smoldering Crater for our cyclers. We'll be playing Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse for fetches that will also do good for deck thinning. We'll be playing Spinerock Knoll, can cast a free card for us if we deal 7 damage to a player that turn, so it can be nice for us. Radiant Fountain will be good for life gain. Castle Embereth is good for pump effects. Command Tower is just an essential in any commander deck. Reliquary Tower is good for giving us no maximum hand size. Scavenger Grounds can exile the opponent's graveyard, which isn't always available in red. And Handweir Battlements is going to be really interesting in our deck because not only can it give creatures haste, but combined with Handweir Garrison, it become Handweir the Writhing Township and to be a 7/4 token-producing Eldrazi creature that's super cool and can be really nice for us in a game and just a super interesting card that I don't think sees enough play nowadays. All right, that's the end of the deck tech. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, please like it. Hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Comment below what you thought of the deck. If you like any more Commander 2021 creatures that you might put in a Commander deck yourself. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day.